Oh dear sweet franchise mode. Back before fantasy sports became mainstream, and long before the word microtransaction was first uttered by a team of soulless executives in a dark boardroom, franchise mode is where sports nerds turned to prove that they were smarter than actual working GMs. Today we're going back to the long ago, all the way to the turn of the decade, to count down the top 5 franchise modes in gaming history. For the purposes of this video, franchise mode is defined as a game mode where you act as the GM, owner, and or coach of a team throughout multiple seasons. We're talking console-based games only today, so PC games like Out of the Park Baseball or Football Manager don't count. We're Operation Sports, I'm Matt Ederer, and these are the top 5 franchise modes in gaming history. Number 5. NBA 2K19 and 20 My League. Let's just keep these beautiful highlights going for a second, shall we? Thanks to Alex Strother for putting those together, and to Thunder Shack for making those great rosters. NBA 2K's current franchise mode is not without its flaws. In fact, and sorry about the cheap plug, but if you'd like to read more about those flaws, I wrote a piece for Operation Sports about the good and bad of NBA 2K20's My League this fall, which I will link to below. Despite those flaws, NBA 2K's current My League still gets so much right that it does warrant a spot at the end of our list today. The mode is buggy, there are a lot of workarounds needed from the user in order to make your My League work like the actual NBA does. But if you put in the time, NBA's current franchise mode is maybe the best one going in sports games today. It's very true to the NBA's current structure of rules and quirks, while being highly customizable, with all kinds of sliders for sim and gameplay, and some amazing retro rosters, legends, and new school and old school courts and jerseys. It's really easy to say, move the Memphis Grizzlies back to Vancouver, or replace the entire Eastern Conference with ABA teams, and with some patience you can build an entire basketball league in whatever image you see fit. Number 4. FIFA Manager mode. It's tough to put a date on this one because the mode has largely been the same since FIFA 12? FIFA 05? I don't know. You're gonna have to help me on that one, FIFA heads. But what FIFA's Manager mode lacks in innovation, it makes up for in good old-fashioned reliability. Just by the nature of the sport, FIFA Manager mode is so deep and rewarding that it's almost impossible for it not to be fun to some degree. The ability to bring in transfers from various leagues around the world, the ability to scout youth players and build them up through drills, and to work your way from a bottom-tier team of scrappy underdogs to the top of the Champions League is just inherently exciting. Unfortunately, they haven't really added much to the mode for almost a decade, unless you count the negotiation cutscenes in the new FIFA games, which I do not. Perhaps it's a case of, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. What they have in place is pretty great. Although if you bought FIFA 20 on day 1, you may respectfully disagree. Number 3. NFL 2K5. A longtime favorite of old heads everywhere, 2K5 is one of the deepest console games ever in terms of pre-game coaching. In what other game can you hold a team meeting every day of the week where you call out players and storm out in disappointment? But we all know the real reason why this game is on the list. That classic ESPN presentation and deep Chris Berman immersion.
This is SportsCenter. Hi there, I'm Chris Berman.
Hi Chris, nice to hear from you. It's not the smoothest game 15 years later, but the depth and immersion remain unequaled by any iteration of Madden before or since. Number 2. NCAA Football 06-14. NCAA football games, from the PS2 era all the way through the PS3 and Xbox 360, were beloved, and they remain highly regarded and sought after to this day. I think the general consensus is that NCAA 14 is the best college football game ever, mostly because it is the most recent, and it's hard to argue that. It's a great game, phenomenal. Although if I had to personally choose a specific college game to play, I personally would go with NCAA Football 09 on the PS2, because while PS2 NCAA games are all very similar, this one has the deepest playbooks, the best variety of jerseys, and then you can use those players from your franchise to play on a PS2 Madden, which will always and forever be superior to the generation of Maddens that preceded it. If you want to just stick with the college game, probably go with NCAA 14, but if you want to carry those players into the NFL, stick with the PS2 options. Number 1. College Hoops 2K8. In the same way that the sport FIFA emulates inherently lends itself to a fun franchise mode, college sports make for perfect franchise modes in games. The constant roster turnover and coaching carousels really lend themselves to exciting franchise modes. The gameplay itself in College 2K8 it's a tad clunky, it can be frustrating, but it's very playable. It's hard, but it's not because it's old. It was hard on the day it was made. Baskets feel earned, good players with high overalls matter a lot, and halftime adjustments genuinely help or hurt your team, and they affect the outcome of the game. It really does feel like a recreation of college basketball, and though the EA Sports NCAA basketball games do have better graphics than these 2K versions, the depth of College Hoops 2K8 is what sets it apart. You can have an 80-year career working your way up from a small school to a mid-major all the way up to the big leagues, while scouting players to join your team starting as high school freshmen. College Hoops 2K8 also features a full NCAA Selection Sunday show and weekly wrap-ups similar to NFL 2K5's Chris Berman SportsCenter spots. These are the top 2 virtual television shows in the history of virtual sports. Really must-see stuff. College Hoops 2K8 also features The Shrine, which is a place to check out your past award winners, your unlocked content, and just generally reflect on how you've been spending your life over these past few months. Older 2K games were great at highlighting your past franchise accomplishments, usually with some sort of elaborate building that you could walk around and perhaps customize, possibly while receiving a phone call from Carmen Electra, Exhibit, or the absolutely loathsome and truly terrible Jamie Kennedy. God, I hate Jamie Kennedy. That's going to do it for us today at Operation Sports, but my name is Matthew Ederer, and we wanted to thank NBA 2K Creations for the NBA video that we used earlier. Also, we want to thank Anonymous Gamer for the FIFA video. We included links to their videos in the description, so please check them out. Also, the absolute least we could do at this time is to use this platform to say that Black Lives Matter. We're going to throw a few links at the bottom on ways to help with or without money. And thank you for listening. Thanks for watching. Thank you very much for your time, and stay safe out there. Cheers, guys.